you took off the jacket.
I know, my arms are too big. I'm too muscular for my jacket right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, that's a good problem to have.
It is. It's a great problem to have.
So right before I started recording, you said to me that there was something that was something behind you. And I feel like I need to know A, what you're hiding behind you, and B, what the story is. The people
So,
wanna see it.
okay, behind me, I have an extremely overlarge teddy bear.
Okay, why is this teddy bear not making an appearance on the pod?
Well, first of all, he was sitting in the corner on the couch, and I was like, I cannot, this is embarrassing. I'm a grown-ass woman who has a teddy bear just chilling on my couch. Also, story behind it is Daniela came home from Rite Aid. Hi, Sadie.
Oh, Sadie Boo.
Sadie Boo. My cat just joined. So Daniela came home from Rite Aid and walked in a couple weeks ago when I was sick. And she walked in and goes, it was on sale. And hands me this like 3-foot tall teddy bear.
That is so cute. I thought it was from a boy, but it's even better that
No.
it was from your roomie.
Right?
I love that. But wait,
I know.
why is he now by the window, staring out the window almost like a guard bear?
Well, because now I live alone and I need some protection in case anything happens. So I want everyone to be intimidated.
This is fair. Oh my God. Can we talk about I think I'm
You
being
look like
sick.
you're in hiding. Are you like running away from your problems? That's what it kind of looks
I
like
don't
today.
know. I just threw the hat on backwards. But yes,
like
I am running away from my problems. And I'm wearing a black hat because we are in mourning. And I got my dunks.
You did? I
Yeah,
rebelled today. I was angry at them.
I know, I get it.
I mean, I do have my water bottle that says Boston on the bottom. So
Yeah.
like I always rep that, but I can't.
No, we're both wearing black. It wasn't planned, but it's because we're in mourning and we're pissed and we're mad. And honestly, Haley, like we texted, but we haven't talked since the embarrassment that went down of what we know as the Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. So just say what you need to say, get it out, girl.
I have like no words to be completely honest. Like I was watching that game and I was like, "You mother effers!" I'm not gonna swear because it was intense how much I was swearing that game.
Oh
But
no, I mean I plan on fully swearing this episode because that's
oh,
just
okay, cool, fine. Oh my gosh, what is she doing?
who.
My
Oh,
cat.
the light situation again. I can barely see you. I just am making out images.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Sadie decided she wanted to be front and center. But no, so I'm sitting there watching this game and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because, all right, and the Boston's going to come out big time now. And I'm like, we just didn't, our defense didn't show up. It was just stupid watching them play. I was like, oh my God, I can't. We're getting trampled. The fact that they had 7 drives and 7 touchdowns, the Bills, are you, nope. Ugh.
Let me paint
Yeah,
the picture for you on my end. Okay, so I was at a Canes game earlier in the day. We
yep.
won. So I was on a high. I've been eating healthy. So I already told myself, all right, girl, you're going to go to the bar, which I don't ever do. Like, you know me, I don't go out. But I was like, I'm going to go out with a couple of the girls. We're going to watch the game and I'm going to get nachos. Like, my mind was set on the nachos. And I'm like, I'm going to be stuffing my face. I'm going to be watching my Pats. Now, I'm not going to lie. Okay, this is really bad, but I'm just going to admit it. That's just what we do.
Yes.
You know how sometimes we can be kind of like psychic a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of went in feeling like we weren't going to win.
Yeah, same.
I had this feeling. However, I was hoping as I was stuffing my face with nachos, it was going to at least be a close game, like a back and forth. Let me jump out of my seat. Let me walk around the bar. Let me pace, just like you would if you were there with me as well.
Yep.
And that did not happen. Clearly, as everyone knows, as you know, I felt like I was back. No, actually, this would have been a better football game to watch, but I felt like I was back in high school, Pelham Pythons, football, Friday Night Lights. I felt like I was watching some motherfucking high school football where stupid Butterfinger mistakes were made. If we could not hold on to the goddamn ball to save our mother effing lives.
seriously, watching Hunter Henry miss that touchdown pass, I mean, it wasn't a great pass. Like, let's be real, but it was scoopable. It was flipping scoopable. It just like blew my mind trying to watch them. They just destroyed us. They destroyed us.
It was just like
Yeah.
words. That's literally how I feel. Like I had my Pats hat on and I had my Patriots jacket on. Okay, so around halftime, the Pats jacket came off, kept the
Yep.
hat on, but I was utterly embarrassed. I ended up staying at the bar until the end of the game. People were just like coming up to me and consoling me. And you know what? As a
Oh,
Pats fan, we're not used to that.
no,
And
no,
it
no.
was not okay. And I just, oh my God, I just felt, all right, okay, all right. But we're okay. Let's talk about where we go from here, though, because obviously we've got a great coach.
Yes.
We've got a great quarterback. I don't think necessarily we need to we're upset, right? We're upset. We're upset we didn't make it a little bit further.
Yeah.
But at the same time, okay, whatever. We're still rebuilding. We're going to be maybe another year of rebuilding, and then maybe we'll be on the upswing. However, I was reading an article and I just feel like we need better defense coaches.
Oh, 100%. We need a better defensive coordinator. Like it's like our assistant coaching staff and like we need an upgrade here. Like yes, I'm completely in agreement with that. I will say I'm really pissed off at some reporters who are saying that like Bill Belichick, well, I was listening to, I think it was Stephen A when he was talking on ESPN, and he was saying how Bill Belichick royally fucked up when he let Tom Brady go because like that was his boy. He molded him and then he got angry and then like saying all this stuff. Get it, got it, been there, already had my words to Bill in my head. Like I've done that. So then he goes and says, well, Mac Jones is not at the caliber of these other quarterbacks. And I'm in my head, I'm going, he's a fucking rookie QB
Yeah.
who made it to the playoffs. Like, can we give the kid a little bit of leeway here? Like, it's his first fucking year.
And
like,
the thing is, we're used to it being the Tom show, right?
Yeah.
With people helping Tom, with people protecting Tom, but usually it's all around Tom Brady. Now, Mac, because he's so new, like we don't really have that defined definition of a team yet. Like they don't,
Yeah.
they're like Gronk and Edelman almost would telepathically, like all they'd have to do is look at Tom and Tom look at them and boom, Hail Marys, boom, long yard passes. Like if
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean,
And
I know what you mean. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I miss those long throws across the field. Like we don't have those anymore. And if
No.
we do, they're dropped and it's like they're fumbled. Like I just there's so many things, but I just feel like there's just a lot of work that needs to be done, not on
Yep.
the team itself, but also with the surrounding coaches.
Yeah. And I think this year too is going to be tough. Well, the next year is going to be even tougher, I think, in some ways, because I think a lot of our defensive players are going to be gone and we're going to rebuild with defense too. And what I'm okay with that because to be like one of the top defensive teams in the NFL and to play how we played on Saturday is an embarrassment. So I'm okay with a rebuild phase. Granted, I'm not blaming everybody, but it kind of is the defensive side's fault here a little bit because you kind of let them just run all over you. So yeah.
It's just a lot of rebuilding, which is okay. We're fine with. We'll wait for it. We love the team. We love Mac Jones. But here's another thing, though. Do you think? Again, I was reading another article. Do you think that Bill's sons is total favoritism? Do you think they're good at their jobs?
No, I don't.
They're defensive coaches, right?
I'm sorry. The mullet. I got no words. I got no fucking words.
Do you know that mullets are coming back? I'm not approving of this. The mullets are coming back, Haley.
The mullets, disclaimer, for all you men out there, the mullets are not attractive. Please don't bring them back.
I have this one friend. This is actually really funny. I have this one friend who her son, I guess, really wanted a mullet, but I don't know if his hair is long enough or whatever. She got him a wig and she'll put him on her story. And it is the funniest thing. I have to send it to you. It's the funniest slash cutest thing. So if anyone can rock the mullet, it's just that young kid, just him, and that's it.
Yep.
I don't care that the Bills have ever won a Super Bowl. I don't want them to make it any further. Like, this is it. This is it for them. Hang on, let me look at the standings right now, the bracket. Okay, so they're playing the Chiefs. No, bye Bills. Bye. No, they're done. They're done.
I mean,
or this
I
week.
want to write them off too, to be honest. I do. But the Chiefs, man, they've been playing some great football and they're really good in the playoffs because they've been there. This is like they know what they're doing. So yes, but also the Bills are playing in a way that we've never really seen. But let's be real, they choke. Like the Bills are very good at choking their way through a playoff series. So I'd be interested to see what happens. But there was a lot of weird upsets, I feel like, during these wild card games. Like, so many.
I'm just excited. Like we were talking about last episode, that there's just not a lot of predicting. There's a lot of weirdness happening. There was a lot of weirdness that happened even with these playoff games that we watched over the weekend, which we'll dive into in a second. There was a couple things I wanted to point out, though. Okay, just on the embarrassment train of us. Okay, it says Buffalo became the first team in the NFL's history to go an entire game without kicking a field goal, punting, or turning the ball over.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
Oh, and then you have to look at our defense and be like, what the flying fuck were you doing?
The thing is, and I think, okay, at the end of the day, like to wrap this part up, what made me the most frustrated was that we were playing like we didn't want it. You watched every other playoff game over the weekend and people were diving for the ball. They were playing like their lives depended on it. The Bucks came out there, absolutely killed it. Will we expect anything different?
Yeah.
But the Pats were just playing like, can we just get the season over? And that pissed me the F off.
Like, I agree. And then I was listening to someone talking about Mac Jones's post-game interview and how he got kind of emotional like about it, and how they say that he needs to work on his skills about like post-game interviews because this is it. And I'm like, dude is passionate about the sport. Don't get mad at him for like, granted, like I don't think he was being a sore loser. He was basically just taking admission for the things that went wrong, and he was bummed he didn't get any further.
And you got to think of it this way, right? Mac Jones, as a rookie, doesn't know anything different other than, all right, how do I say this? Okay, we know Tom Brady lives, eats, sleeps football. When he's not on the field, he's still working, whether it's on eating greens or whether it's hitting, like whatever, the boy is dialed in. And because Bill has only known that for how many years? 20 years with Tom, that I'm sure a lot of that is rubbing off on Mac. And when Mac is that emotional, it's because it's not just how he's playing on the field. It's what he's lived and eat and sleep and breathed every single day. So of course he's going to be upset about it because it's all this pent up emotion. It's all this stress. And I do think that as much as we love the Patriots, I do think that organization in general, between them not really being able to do a lot of interviews and commercials, clearly we can see it now with Gronk and Tom Brady being everywhere on all these commercials. It's just an intense environment. And I just think it was just, emotion, which is totally fine.
I'm sorry. Tom Brady, we want to talk about emotional. Have you seen that man when he's upset? He broke a tablet because he got angry during a game.
Exactly.
Broke it.
And that was a Tom I didn't like to see, Tom. You need to
come on. We got to be better.
Go all the way, but we got to do better. We got to be better.
We got
to. God. Yeah. And also that was the first time the 47 points surrendered were the most in a single game by a Belichick coach Patriots team. So that was like his worst game too, like as a coach. Just bad news.
All
Bad news
around,
bears.
bad news bears. You know
21
what? You know what it's time for? It's time to start watching more hockey, start watching more basketball, and to get ready for the Red Sox, because I'm ready for some
Yes,
baseball.
Red Sox means spring is around the corner. So excited. Yeah, actually, I know by the time this comes out, the game will probably already be over, but the Canes play the Bruins tonight at home
Wait, in Boston?
in Boston. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
all
so
right.
I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but okay, we called him Marchand, but I've heard people call him Marchand.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too lately, and I'm like, oops.
Yeah, anyways, whatever. So Marchand and Pastrnak, like in back-to-back games, hat tricks. Like the
Yeah,
boys are on fire. They're so good. So it's gonna be, and we
pasta.
Tuca, Pasta, Marchand, and Tuca's back, right?
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Yeah.
But
Our tongue makes sense.
it's gonna be a good game, and our last game against them was postponed. So it's exciting for me. I'm so excited to watch the game today. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, may the best team win,
I
sincerely.
mean, I think you can secretly root for them and no one will ever know.
No one will know, especially since I'm at home. It would be really hard if we were at PNC Arena in Raleigh. I'd be like, "Oh my god, imagine me cheering for the wrong team." They'd be like, "And you're out, Megan.
And Megan's gone.
You're
Sorry,
out."
guys.
All right, let's, on a lighter note, talk about some of the other games, but
Yeah.
let's talk that interview with Gronk. He sat down with our beloved Erin Andrews. I say it like I know the queen, but I don't, but I love her to death. And it's just he for one, in that sit down interview with her, said, because she asked him what she thought the biggest difference between, sorry, you probably hear my donkey's ice in the mic. She asked what the biggest difference was between Tom in New England versus Tom in Tampa Bay, and Gronk said he's so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
And that just goes back to just the environment that I think that these
Yeah, the
boys,
culture.
yeah. So, and then Aaron asked Gronk, like, if you could have had any other job in the world, what would it be? And he was like, "Oh, I come into practice and I see these guys like mowing the field. I think that looks pretty cool."
He's like, I love the final result of like a fresh mowed lawn. Like, what?
Hilarious. Like, and imagine those guys that take care of the stadium at the Bucks, and they're just probably like, "Damn, Gronk envies my job."
Or they're just like, you asshole, you make so much more money than we do. Come do our job for a day.
Well, I think there was another story of Gronk that I sent in our Boston Blondes Instagram, where he needed to make one more. What was it, like, touchdown?
So we needed to have one more catch to get his bonus.
Right. And
And then he's like, oh, I'm out of a job.
he says on the sideline, he's like, "Well, I'll make this one last catch, guys. I'm out of a job." I'm like, "Oh my god, shut up." He's hilarious though. He's a hoot.
So we were talking about interviews, and then today I went down a rabbit hole of looking at like other post-game interviews he had done recently. So there was one from the game that they played against the Eagles, and he's talking about he called someone Quadzilla. He goes, "Yeah, he has bigger quads than Quadzilla," and I was just like, "Where do you get this stuff?"
Oh, that's what you sent me in the text. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Okay. Oh my gosh.
Crying. I was laughing so hard. I was like, Quadzilla?
He's
What?
just a ham, and I love
Yeah.
him so much, and I love that him and Tom are, like, still together and all that jazz. That game, though, the Eagles and the Bucks, at first, I was feeling less bad about our loss because the Eagles didn't have anything on the board up until, like, intermission. I was like, "Okay, we're not alone in this, like, low-scoring game."
Yeah.
They ended up playing well, but the Bucks are just unstoppable. You watch them and you're like, "This is a team that fights for it. This is a team that just is so dialed into each other. It's
Yeah.
insane." And Arian said in a post-game interview, he's like, "If Tom knows you and he studies you, there's there's no
Yeah.
putting anybody past him." And
No.
that's his greatness right there.
He's an animal. He is an animal. Like, and I was in the same interview I was watching. They were saying that Tom was getting these throws off in 2.1 seconds was how fast he was getting these throws. The dude is getting better as he gets older, like faster and like more like precision. I'm like, who? I don't know.
Dak Prescott could have taken a note from Tom Brady.
Oh my God, dude. I was like,
That was intense. Okay, wait, do we wanna jump into that? Is there anything else you wanna say about the Eagles-Bucks game other than the Bucks are just amazing?
well, Tom Brady for life, even
Tom
though he
Brady
left
for life.
it. Well, let's just give a shout out to Stafford, Matthew Stafford, who's finally going to the playoffs for the first time in 12 or 13 years of his career. 13, I think.
There's a lot of exciting things, but, um, okay,
But yeah,
wait, there's so many places to go. There's so many things I wanna say, but
I know.
yeah, let's talk about Cowboys and
Oh,
49ers and that last, like, what was it, 14 seconds on the clock?
well,
Um,
yeah.
Go ahead. What do you
Oh no, I was just gonna say the last 2.5 minutes. I was watching the highlights of the last 2.5 minutes. The highlights themselves were 27 minutes long.
Yeah, because so
I
much
was like,
happened within
what?
those 2.5 minutes. It was insane.
It was the longest 2.5 minutes of my life.
And I can understand, you're playing at I wish I knew the names of all these stadiums, but you're playing in Dallas.
Yep.
You're the fans are going crazy. They
Yep.
obviously wanna see their team come back. Their team did a great job with coming back, but at the end of the day, it just came down to the clock running out, and that's the last way you wanna lose, right? Because it's just like there was nothing other
No.
than so I guess
Well,
go ahead. Yeah.
no. I was just gonna say that second to last play, the what actually the last play
Yeah.
where the guy just kept running. Like the problem is like you when you run, you just go. You just go for it. But when you don't have a lot of time on the clock, you got to make these short runs. You just got to get the first down or whatever you're going for and just get it done so that you have the time to spike the ball because as we now see, they didn't have time to spike the ball.
And people started blaming it on the ref and like how the ref made the final call. It's like, dude, first of all, the ref had to run so far because of that run that
Yeah.
he made. And then also it's just like I there was an article I was reading and Dak handed the ball to like the center and instead of just handing it to the ref because the ref has to touch it before
Yeah.
reconfiguring in order to go again. And it was
Mhm.
almost like that took up some seconds. And it was just a pish posh of confusion and adrenaline. And man, but those Dallas fans, they were like throwing trash on the field and there were fights that were happening after the game. And it was like, at the end of the day, it's like you can be so mad about those last 14 seconds, but what it all comes down to is an entire season, an entire game. Like, do better, be better. Don't be in that position. That's all I have to that's what I have
Yeah.
to say about it.
The Cowboys had a lot of those types of wacky, awful calls and plays during the entire season. Like they lost games they should never have lost. They did things that like you just look at and you're like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that wasn't great. I have to give it up for Jimmy G, former Pats player, obviously, and a man of our hearts. But like no one thought he'd go this far, and he's taken his team to the divisional. So good
And he's
for
so
you,
hot.
man.
He's so
Oh, he is
hot.
so hot. I'm like,
Love
dude,
him.
dude, you can just look at me every day. Thank you.
Ugh.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Other call that we need to talk about
Yeah.
that was actually the ref's fault, but was said that there was in the Bengals Raiders game
Yes.
where
Yes.
they threw the ball mid throw, the ref blows the whistle, and the Bengals ended up catching it for a TD that they said was a touchdown. And then in their post game, you can hear this whistle girl. Like it is a loud freaking whistle. And in that post game, both the coach and Burrows was like, "No, I didn't hear anything." And I'm like, "You are lying.
And
We all freaking heard it."
and I think the refs were saying at the end, I don't know what sort of back end deal went on, but they were saying that it was blown after the catch.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I don't think so. I
Like
don't think
you
so.
literally watch it and it is during.
I have
Oh
to say
man.
I was a little distracted during that game because I had gotten to the bar already at that point, so we were watching the rest of that game before the Pats game started, and there
Mm.
were Raiders fans and there were Bengals fans, and I just my heart, like, I just was watching these Cincinnati
Yeah.
fans and, like, I just felt for them because they were so happy. And I was like, oh my God, your team has not won a playoff game in 30 years. Like, you deserve this. So, whistle blown or not, like, I don't care. Joe Burrows is so cute. Like, can I marry you? I don't even care that you're 25. Like, I'm obsessed with you. I'm in love with you.
With his sunglasses, and they were like, do they have a meaning? And he's like, no, I just think they're cool. Don't you think so?
First of all, like, why would a reporter, like, why would that be his first question? Like, oh, Joe, what's with the glasses? And he's like, I just think they're cool. Like, he's like Gen Z, like, he's all about that,
Yeah.
that look, the look. But I don't care. I love him. I think he's so fine. He's so
I do too.
fine. He's
He is
fine.
very fine.
Okay, here's what I will say.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, if we're talking about Super Bowl predictions, guys,
Mm.
I am crazy. I am crazy, but this is how much I love an underdog. I would do anything. I mean, I know they still have a little ways to go, but to see the Bengals in that
Oh, girl.
girl, don't say never because miracles can happen. And if it's going to happen in any season, it's going to be this one. I think they can beat the Titans.
Maybe.
They're going to be, I feel passionate about this one. They're going to be so hype. They're going to be so hype that it's gonna be like a Disney story.
I love your enthusiasm and your belief, but I have to say, I don't think they'll get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, who do you see? Who do you see taking the Super Bowl? Because Lord help me if it's a Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl again. Lord help me.
I don't know. I honestly see Green Bay going, to be honest.
Okay, me too. I have my bet on, well, not that I bet, but like if I were to bet, I have my bet on the Packers as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see that for the Packers. And I guess if I'm being realistic, like Bills can shove it. Like I hate the Bills. I just feel some type of way about them. No. So okay, let's see. So if realistically the Chiefs and the Titans were to go, oh, I wouldn't mind seeing a Chiefs Green Bay Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably what's going to happen because Green Bay is 100% going to get there. Yeah.
Did you know that there's 12 NFL teams that haven't won a Super Bowl? I'm like, yo, get on our level. We're like the most Super Bowl winning team ever.
That's kind of embarrassing.
The Bills have never, but fuck the Bills, but the Bills have never won a Super Bowl.
Well, that's cool. They're not going to be there.
Not that they've never been. Sorry, not that they've never been. They just never won.
Not going to win.
I do want to talk about one more thing. Actually, two more things that we can combine into one more thing because these are genuine. Cool. These are genuine thoughts.
I love genuine thoughts.
I've been trying to think. I mean, it's the topic of conversation we've heard ever since Tom Brady left the Bucs, right? Was it
Tom left the Pats, but
sorry, the Pat. Oh my God, see my brain. No, so ever since Tom left the Pats, everyone's like, is Bill better? Or is it Tom? Was it them together? And then also the second part of that is I totally forgot that Tom only signed a 2-year contract to the Bucs. And I don't think he's done, but do we think he's going to try to prove himself somewhere else? Or do we think he's going to stay? Do we think he's going to go? So anyways, two-part question.
Do we know Gronk's deal? Do we know, because I don't think he'd leave if Gronk was staying. Like that's 100% something that you have a fuzzy that floated right in front of your face, and I was just watching it.
Oh, did I have a fuzzy?
You did. It was like a little fuzzy, and I got super distracted. But I don't know. So here's my thing: if Tom doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, he's 100% staying to play. Yeah. I think he'll probably stay in Florida because I don't think he'll uproot his whole life again after 2 years and go anywhere else. I just can't see that happening. But if he does, I don't know. Then we'll have to see if he wants to keep. I mean, I think he'd keep playing until he got 10 rings. Like, I think that's something he's going for. So
I feel like at some point you've just got to get tired. And just at some point you just want to eat pizza. Like, I'm not saying the guy doesn't, but he probably doesn't. And to be honest with you, I feel like now, because you literally see him everywhere in, crypto commercials. I don't know why we always bring this podcast back to crypto because we have no idea what it is.
Nope.
But between that and then just him doing other things and other projects, I just feel like there is going to come a time where his body is just going to be done, but we're not going to see the end of Tom.
No.
It's just we're going to see him maybe as an analyst. I could see him doing that. Well, yeah, I could see him doing that. I don't know.
I don't know if I could, to be
I could see him coaching.
He's such a weird person to kind of like figure out, because like now that I'm watching his like documentary thing,
I still need your password, by the way.
Oh yeah, I still need to give you my password. He's just like so laser focused, and like I was listening to him talk with his trainer, the guy he's been working with TB12 and everything, and just his whole methodology and like way of life. It's just so, I've never heard anyone talk like him before, and it's very cool to listen to.
He's just very smart.
Yeah, but like he's very smart and he's very aware, and he does everything he can to take care. He like treats his body like a temple.
Yeah.
And like honestly, if he can play, I think he will. I don't think. Oh, Indy boy.
Now Indy's coming to say hi.
Oh, hello,
Indy podcast.
Oh, it is the cat mom podcast.
Cat mom podcast, switching from football to cats in a matter of time.
Oh my god. Well, Sadie's got her head in a couch cushion right now.
Okay, there we go. Indy, say meow into the microphones.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, so funny. But yeah, so and then I guess in terms of Bill and Tom, it's like they're two very different roles. And I feel like you really, as much as people like to compare and say who was it really, who was better. Sorry, can't hear my mouth. I just think that it's not necessarily who was better. I just think they were the ultimate pairing together. But the other thing I will say that I feel like the Patriots and Bill need to take a note out of Tom's book is I feel like Tom is very good at leadership and building a team, like a fluency, if you will. And I just feel like Bill is so good at what he does, but right now there's a lack of fluid motion, if that even makes sense, in all areas of the team. It almost just needs to be kind of more direct and looked at and kind of a little bit more dissected to make the ins and outs and the different changes that need to be made in order for the next season to really be one up and one better than what it was before, which this season was better than the season before. We had freaking Newton. What the hell?
I don't know.
So we're just going up from here. But what are your thoughts on it?
I think you were right that it was a combination of Bill and Tom for sure. And I think the thing that Tom has shown is that he can do this on his own. Like he doesn't need a coach like Bill at all. If he has the weapons, Tom is unstoppable, and he has the weapons right now. I think there is no other player quite like Tom Brady. So as good as whatever potential Mac Jones has, which he does have potential, he still is not Tom Brady. And I think we need to stop comparing him to Tom, and a lot of people do, because they're two very different players, which isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. But that also means that we have to look at it a little differently. So I don't think there will ever be a Bill and Tom era ever again, but I think we can get something similar as long as we treat Mac like a different type of player and work to his strengths as a player.
Yeah.
And Bill do what he does as a coach, because he is a great coach. But again, Mac isn't Tom. So you've got to adjust here. And I think that's the process they're in now, is adjusting to what Mac's strengths are. And I think, again, this is only his first year. So I think the kid has so much potential to grow.
Absolutely.
It's going to need to be different football, which is okay. But we're just not used to different football because we had it one way for so long. So,
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I think that makes perfect sense. And I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
But I do think that there was a lot of things that Tom probably took away as a player from Bill that he now takes into his everyday, so it was just like you said, a dynamic duo, and it's unfortunate the way it ended, but and none of us will really ever know the story unless there's like a movie someday, or unless Tom talks about it in there will be a movie about it. The the Belichick Chronicles. There we go.
Something like that. But
Kind
you
of.
know what? Tom has never said one bad thing about Bill in this whole series. Like, he always commends Bill. And he's even said, he's like, people don't know what happened behind the scenes. They just wanted drama. That was in the last episode that I just watched. That's what he said. He was like, they just want drama and they want something to make dramatic.
Mhm.
He's like, but what happened behind the scenes is not what happened in the media. The media just wants to portray it. So he has never, again, we will never know. It's just people wanted a dramatic thing to happen. So maybe it wasn't full of drama. Maybe it just was time to move on. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
But you got to commend Tom for being such a dude. Like, he is such a cool gentleman. Like,
You know what I would take from Tom, like if he were to ever offer this in the future after many years later of retirement, if he were to like do these online courses of like how to manifest, or like there's God, the mental, it's not all physical. I mean, it's 99% mental what he's doing out there. And I would love just a glimpse into that. Like, what do you do? How does it work? Because he had to be so nervous leaving a franchise that made you in whatever capacity and whatever the reasoning was behind it, and go somewhere else to a team that was not good, and
yeah.
literally in the first year win the Super Bowl. Like, what?
I,
Tom,
I
TV12,
think just
teach me
Tom,
your ways.
right? The thing with him, though, is he knows so deeply who he is as a human being. And he just has so much damn confidence that he's just like, fuck it. If I need to go somewhere, I'll go. If this team sucks, cool, I'll make it better. I'll bring in my dudes. Gronk will come out of retirement. We'll get this guy. We'll get this guy. I'll study. But he knows. Like, he just knows who he is in his soul. That sounds so weird when I say it like that.
No, but it's so
But it's
true.
true.
That is so true.
So I
Oh,
don't know if he'd be scared so much as it'd be more like an exciting challenge for him to be like, let me go out and prove to the world, prove to myself that I am that good. And I mean, fuck, he already did. So,
he already did. Now it's like, what is there left to prove?
right? Nothing. I mean, the guy's, oh God, he's so cool.
If Tom came to North Carolina and turned around the Panthers, that, that's
Oh,
what I would, that's
would
what I'd
you
be about.
become a Panthers fan though?
Well, I never thought I'd root for any other NHL team other than the Bruins, but I do have to say, I do have to say, and I don't live in Charlotte. So, the Hornets and the Panthers are about 2 hours away. What I do
Mm,
have to say about Raleigh and the Canes is the energy inside of the arena, when especially when it's on a good night and we're winning, is it replicates very much. It reminds me of home because
yeah,
people love the Canes. When I'm driving, I don't see a car without a Canes bumper sticker. When I'm out, I see Canes hats, I see Canes sweatshirts. They rep it like you would see the Bruins, the Pats, the Red Sox, the Celtics, it very much reminds me of home. So I think that's why I
yeah,
fell in love with the Canes. It was more because it reminded me of how we would be in New England.
yeah.
In terms of Panthers, I don't see a lot of Panthers stuff out here. So whether that's just a Charlotte thing, I don't know. But oh God, if Tom Brady went to the Panthers, which I don't think he ever would, but if he
Mhm.
did, I absolutely think there would be more people jumping on the bandwagon.
Can you imagine if Tom ended up in with Detroit?
Oh my God.
Just here, let me go to the worst team in the NFL and try and see if I can make them better.
If anyone could do it, it's
Oh,
TV.
yeah, but like, oh God,
It's
now we're getting ahead of ourselves
Oh
here.
my God. Oh my God, that's crazy. Well, this was good. I feel dialed in. I feel like we had a good, plethora of items that
Yeah.
we saw over the weekend, and it's just going to keep going and keep getting interesting. So next week we'll dive into more of the playoffs. We'll figure out. We'll root for my Bengals because they're making it to the Super Bowl.
I think you're going to be on that train alone. I'll send you love from over here, but I will not be rooting for the Bengals.
Okay, send me love. Send me love. I don't know. I just love an underdog. I love an underdog.
I know. The underdog story is cute.
It's cute. And Joe. And we got to love Joe.
We love Joe, but like,
Joe. We love him.
Joe, all the good luck vibes.
Oh my gosh. And we'll leave it on this note with Travis Kelce's mom.
Oh my God.
Interview. She's so sweet. We all love Kelsey's mom.
The fact that she like went to both games and she was like, yeah, you could start the day really bad and then end elated. And I was like, oh my
She's
God.
so sweet. Like the sweetest. Love her. It was what I didn't know I needed in my life.
I didn't know I needed it too, but it was the most wholesome content.
And he was so sweet to his mama.
Such a sweet little nugget to his mom.
Nugget. Okay, girl. Well, yes, next week we'll dive in. If you guys love this podcast, you can watch it on YouTube. You can also listen on iHeartRadio, iHeartMedia, and also on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram at official Boston Blondes. And yeah, comment because we want to hear from you guys.
Yes.
Who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Oh my God, let us know. Are you rooting for the underdog with Megan? We need to know these things.
Root for the underdog. Yes, we need to know. All right, girlfriend. I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.